All right, guys, let's get back into focus this week. We've mourned over Kobe Bryant. Um, let's get to the All Star game, shall we? Let's do my intro. Thanks for watching another episode of Coach WONDERGEDDON. I am your Coach WONDERGEDDON. We are going to talk NBA All-Star Weekend. It's coming. We got the teams together. I have no idea who's doing the All-Star game. As far as the dunk-off, actually I'm lying. I do know. Dwight Howard's going to be in the dunk-off. That's the only person that I know that has been confirmed in the dunk-off thus far. Three-point shootout, I know Trae Young is going to be in the 3-point shootout. That's about it. I don't know who he's going to be competing against. I'm assuming all that's going to fill out in the coming weeks. So we are going to talk about what we know, and what we know right now is the Eastern and Western All-Star lineups. We don't know the teams yet, but we know who the All-Stars are. So we're going to talk about who the All-Stars are, and if any of these are surprises. We're also going to talk about the snubs. I've been hearing a lot of things about some people getting snubbed. We're going to talk about that. We're going to see who got in, who didn't deserve it, who deserved it. We're going to talk about that, all about that right now. Let's start with the Eastern Conference, shall we? Eastern Conference, as you should know, starts with the Captain Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks is going to be a starter. You also have Kemba Walker from the Boston Celtics, Trae Young from Atlanta. We got Pascal Siakam from Toronto, and of course we have Joel Embiid. He plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. This lineup, I think, does sound like the best lineup that the Eastern Conference could come up with in the All-Star game. First off, let me just say, I think this Eastern-Western game, I don't know what the teams are going to be as far as LeBron and Giannis having to pick who they want. They're going to go back and forth and pick players, so I don't know who that team is going to be yet. But I will tell you, from the East to the West, we got a pretty decent crop of NBA players this year. As I said, Pascal Siakam, Joel Embiid, and Giannis are going to be in the front court. Back court's going to be Trae Young and Kemba Walker. Who are our reserves? We got Jimmy Butler from Miami, along with Bam Adebayo from from the Miami Heat as well. Also, I know we said we have Kemba Walker. We also have Jason Tatum, also from the Celtics. A lot of pairs this year. We got Pascal Siakam for Toronto, and now we have six-time All-Star Kyle Lowry. Ben Simmons is going to be there with Joel Embiid. And then you have Sabonis, Damascus Sabonis from the Pacers. You have Chris Middleton, also from the Bucks. So we got a few pairs there. Giannis and Middleton from the Bucks. Ben Simmons, Embiid from the 76ers. Kyle Lowry, Siakam from Toronto. You got Tatum and Kemba Walker from Boston. Pretty interesting how that ended up. Eastern Conference snub list, guys. Bradley Beal, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists a game, did not make the All-Star team. Neither did Zach LaVine, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists a game, which amazes me. I know he plays for a bad team as well as Bradley Beal. Washington is not doing too well, and neither is the Chicago Bulls. Jalen Rose, also people believe that they got snubbed. Jalen Rose from Boston as well. 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, which are pretty good numbers. I'll tell you what, though, numbers don't always get you into the All-Star game. A lot of times it's how valuable do you look on the team. There's already 2 All-Stars on that team, so I'm not surprised that the third one didn't pop up, especially a young one. My big surprise in my opinion, has to be Andre Drummond from the Detroit Pistons. He didn't make the All-Star team, which I think is my biggest Eastern Conference snub. 17 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists. Defensive dynamo, probably the best player that they have for the Pistons right now. He's not going to be making the team. That team of snubs is better than most teams in the league. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with the All-Stars, it's hard, man. There's only a few slots left. Just because you have good numbers doesn't mean you're going to make the team. Out of all of them, I think Andre Drummond's probably get the biggest snub. Not much of a free throw shooter, but he has improved in the last few years. 15 rebounds, 17 points, 15 rebounds. That's nuts. That's nuts. When you're doing double-doubles, that kind of make you the value of 2 players, especially in a fantasy league. You are elite. One question, I'm not going to tell you guys who asked me because I don't actually remember who it was, but they asked if you could make an all-star team for fantasy league, would it look the same as the all-star league in real life? Yeah, I would say so. I wish I remembered who asked me that, but we were talking about it. Yeah. It would probably be around the same team. There's a lot of guys that aren't there, or that are being talked about who are all-stars, that just didn't make the team just by the numbers, and that's what happened this year. Zach LaVine, feel it for you, buddy. Had a very good statistical season so far. 25 points, 5 rebounds. He scored 40 points for me countless times, at least 2 or 3 times this season. He scored about 40 points for me in my fantasy league. Let's talk about the Western Conference, guys. Western Conference All-Star 2020 captain LeBron James, 25 points a game, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. That guy is still the man. 16-time All-Star, LA Laker, and he is going to be bringing his partner in crime, his center Anthony Davis. That's 26 points a game, guys. 9 rebounds, 3 assists. That is his number 2 guy. We also have James Harden, 35 points a game, 7 assists, 6 rebounds a game. He's ridiculous. James Harden, just Google if you don't know how good James Harden is or how ridiculous he makes everything look, just Google him. He is ridiculous. 35 points a game. You have Luka Doncic, who is also going to be on there for the first time. Dallas Mavericks, 29 points a game, 8 assists, 9 rebounds. That is about as close to LeBron numbers as you can get without LeBron James' athleticism. Luka Doncic is also the man. And also this last starter of the Western Conference is going to be Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, of course, 27 points a game, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. He's the man. He is a board guy. And that is the Western Conference All-Star starters. I'm going to repeat that for you because it sounds unreal every time I listen to myself even say the All-Star teams or the All-Stars from each side. It's crazy. LeBron and Anthony Davis, both from the Lakers. Harden, Doncic, Kawhi Leonard, also All-Stars. Our reserves is where everything gets a little bit interesting. We are going to talk first 8-time All-Star Russell Westbrook, also with Houston, 26 points a game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Those are actually low Russell Westbrook numbers. He's closer to a triple-double than usually everyone else in the league. Also, 5-time All-Star now, Damian Lillard is going to bring his 29 points a game, 8 assists and 4 rebounds. He's also going to be joining that backcourt. First-time All-Star in 6 years, Rudy Gobert is going to be there with his 16 points a game, 14 rebounds, but he gets 2 blocks a game, which is You got to put a defensive guy in there. You got to respect the defensive guy's efforts. Rudy Gobert, first-time All-Star. Chris Paul, 10-time All-Star now, 17 points a game with OKC. Who thought that was going to happen? I'm not going to lie. Didn't think that was going to happen. He's also going to be an All-Star. And Brandon Ingram, which is not really a surprise, 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's also very, very nasty, man. Look out for that team outside of the All-Star game for a second. Look out for New Orleans in the second half of the season. The New Orleans Pelicans. Remember, we're going to talk about that at some point. Maybe after the All-Star game, we'll start talking about who we think is going to pick up the tempo a little bit in the second half of the season. Let me get back to the All-Star game stuff. Donovan Mitchell is going to be a first-time All-Star, 24 points a game. And Nikola Jokic, the Joker, is going to bring his 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. Second-time All-Star for Jokic. That is going to be an amazing game. I think this year, especially with the passing on of a great one like Kobe Bryant and the Mamba mentality that we all know and love, I think we are going to have a competitive game. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I don't think anyone's going to want to lose this game as far as All-Stars. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you 5 people who probably won't care who wins East or West, and it is the Western All-Stars, in our opinion, who got snubbed. Western All-Stars who got snubbed. Biggest one, a lot of people are saying that Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns has gotten snubbed. He has 27 points a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. His numbers are amazing. Those numbers sound like all-star numbers. Unfortunately, the problem is that the Phoenix Suns suck. And I don't mean long-term. I mean, they're still young. I think they're on a come-up. I think they're close. But right now, compared to the other all-stars, they kind of suck, which is why Devin Booker is not an all-star this year. Also, DeMar DeRozan, one of my favorites. San Antonio Spurs, 23 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He is not going to be an all-star this year in the Western Conference. In Toronto, I think he would have been an all-star this year in the Eastern Conference. But he's in the East, and it's hard. Front court players are out there in the Western Conference. Paul George, not going to be an all-star this year. That one surprised me a little bit. 23 points a game, 6 rebounds, not good enough. And Lou Williams is not good enough either, which is a little bit surprised to me. That's 17 points a game off the bench. Usually there's a six-man that there's usually some six-man love out there in the All-Star game. Lou Williams would have probably been one of the better six-men of the league this year, not making it. I think the biggest snub to me, because I like this player, even though his team sucks too, Karl Anthony Towns, Minnesota Timberwolves, 27 points a game, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and is not an all-star in my opinion because his team's just not good enough to showcase his skills. Those other teams are winning teams. You know what? Winning teams, but they're, it's the NBA. It's the NBA. There's some teams that are good teams that are losing in the Western Conference. The Blazers, for example, and it's hard. It's hard to look at. All right, Western Conference. That is the All-Stars. That is the All-Stars of the West. We have the All-Stars of the East. Who do you think is going to win? Somebody make the call before the game starts. Don't come to me after and tell me that you knew it. If you didn't tell me, I didn't know. So if you could contact Instagram, it's going to be Coach WONDERGEDDON. Facebook, Coach WONDERGEDDON. Find me there. Do you have an opinion? Do you think I'm wrong about something? Holla at me, let me know. Or if not, then I'm just going to believe that I'm right. And that's the show today, guys. We talked about a lot of basketball as usual. Next time you see us, we should be pretty close to the All-Star game, and we're going to talk about baseball in the coming episodes as well. Basketball leagues still going on fire. WFBL still on fire. I'm not winning it, but I'm up there. I'll say that. As we speak right now, I am up there. And that's it. Episode complete. Basketball has been spoke of, and we'll talk to you guys another episode. Thanks for watching.